What's up, y'all? Yep, this is a real story. I've been waiting to do this shit my whole life. Getsuga.
やめろ、イチゴ。
You ever seen The Walking Dead? Let a nigga come through this door. Oh God, nigga, I've been. Feel me? Before we get into the negative, let me just say that I love Bleach. Bleach was a Toonami favorite of mine growing up, just like Naruto, Inuyasha, and Full Metal Alchemist. If you were up late night as a kid in the 2000s, then chances are you probably watched a lot of anime just like I did. And Bleach was cool as hell because all the characters had swords and aura. That's what separated it from the rest of the anime. And Bleach is still the best sword anime. I'm sorry, Demon Slayer. You still got some proving to do, especially after that last arc. And it's definitely not Sword Art Online. I'm the only one who gives a damn about you, Kirito. Because not only was Bleach cool, it had two of the greatest arcs in all of anime, the Waco Mundo arc and the Soul Society arc. The Waco Mundo arc was so cold, bro. I remember when it started and Grimjaw came through and gave Ichigo just straight hands. Jackerjack didn't even pull out his sword. He just whooped Ichigo's ass. And the Soul Society arc was so dope because just like Waco Mundo, the Soul Society arc was an uphill battle. This was before Ichigo knew how to use his Hollow Mask. It was before he knew how to use his Bankai. He was just a teenager trying to protect his friends from a world that he didn't understand. Because Bleach wasn't just swords and drip, it was the Bankai. And every time a character said Bankai, it was a whole event. I remember when Ichigo said Bankai for the first time. He had been training with Yoruichi for 3 days straight, and we had no idea what his Bankai looked like. We just knew he had one. And the way he started moving and creating those after images was nuts. Bankai ain't just about power-ups, it's a reflection of the character's inner soul. And only captains and a few strong lieutenants have Bankais, because it takes 10 years to master and manifest your Bankai, unless you're using Yoruichi's special training method. Every time a character said Bankai, it was an exciting moment because we had to wait literally years to see most of them. And that's why I'm truly disappointed in Kubo for fumbling the bag when it comes to the Bankais. Like, bro, it could have all been so simple. All you had to do was give us some good Bankais. And as bad as Naruto ended, I can forgive it because at the very least, Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi got crazy power-ups. We got to see a bunch of characters get reincarnated, and it wasn't perfect, but it was fun. But Bleach, it was just like they was just throwing some stuff on the page for Thousand Year Blood War. I have been waiting for so long to see some of these Bankais. I was so pissed, bro. Starting with the head captain Yamamoto. Oh my god, bro. Head captain Giryusai Yamamoto was a thug. The way he flew into battle when Yhwach showed up was crazy. And then his Bankai didn't disappoint. It was a masterpiece.
That sad, scorched old sword is his Bankai.
Don't be fooled by its appearance. Sunkana Tachi West, Sunjitsu Gokui! You can no longer touch me or even get close to me. Think of my body and my blade as having been enveloped by the sun! Let's bring these to a close, Yuhabaha. You see, if I do not end this soon, it will not be just you. I and the rest of the Soul Society will burn to ashes as well.
But why did you have to kill the OG right after he revealed it? It was like watching your papa get jumped in the alley right after cooking a good meal, just before he was about to make dessert. It was no closure. And then Kubo didn't give my waifu a Bankai. I know she had one because she showed up in the final arc with that weird Thundercat form. Like, that wasn't it. I was like, where the Bankai at? I was disappointed by a lot of characters in the Thousand Year Blood War. But Jushiro and Shinsui, those really hurt. Because they were two of the oldest captains. They trained directly under Yamamoto. They both had two swords, and both their Bankais was lame. Well, actually, Yushiro, we never even got to see his Bankai because he was sick and he was the right hand of the Soul King. That plotline was lame. All that should have been dropped because his Shikai was cool. That release was crazy. It absorbed energy and reflected it back. I would love to see his Bankai. In Shinsui, we did see his Bankai. His Shikai was based on the children's game, so naturally I assumed his Bankai would turn him into a king with two gold swords, and the battlefield would become a chessboard, especially when he said that he couldn't use it versus Aizen because he was afraid that people would get caught up in it. So when we got this whack-ass theater Bankai, I was disappointed. In Ichigo, the final and biggest disappointment in Thousand Year Blood War, I hated his true Bankai. I wish they would have left him the way he was. Because I don't know about you, but I like my Ichigo with a hollow mask. But I was hyped for the true Bankai. He had two swords. One had a chain on it. I was like, okay, Ichigo, let's go. And then what did Ichigo do when he got the new Bankai? Another Getsuga Tensho. He didn't do no arrows. He didn't shoot no arrows. He had that blood vein on his neck for like 5 seconds. But I thought he was going to have both standing or a resurrection or something, not just a Getsuga Tensho again. Because all the characters in the show got aura, and Ichigo had aura, especially in his Vasto Lorde form. When Ukiura killed Ichigo and his hollow side took over, it was no words, bro. It was just murder.
バカなだ。
And Dangai Ichigo had so much aura, Aizen couldn't even comprehend it.
月が天使。人間ごときがこの私を超えるだろう。そんなことが。無月。
Both those forms out aura Thousand Year Blood War Ichigo. It's unfortunate, but he is lame in comparison. Which sucks because going into this arc, I was so hyped because there was so much stuff that they could have did in the final arc. I thank God Uriel was a factor because the rest of the humans might as well not have even been there. I really thought Chad was going to be OP. Well, I thought he was going to at least keep getting stronger, especially after the Waco Mundo arc when he bodied that one Arankar. And Orihime got left in the dust as well. What happened to her powers? Aizen was like all intrigued and he said her powers were closer to a miracle than anything else. And we should have gotten some more development for the humans. It wasn't just the humans either. Like, what's up with Kubo? Why did he do all the females like that? We should have got Bankais from the Now, Momo, Lisa, and definitely Rangiku. The only female that got a Bankai was Rukia. And honestly, no complaints there. That Bankai was cool. That absolute zero thing, I was feeling it. And Unohana, it was an epic reveal that she was actually a bloodthirsty killer in the first Kenpachi. But why just have her use her Bankai only to be killed by Kenpachi? I know he needs to reach his full power, but people is already dropping like flies. This is a war. Y'all need everybody you can get. It didn't make no sense to kill her in the middle of a war. Especially when, in my opinion, he was the one character who didn't even need a Bankai. I did not like the ending of Bleach, but I love Bleach. So I want to end it on a positive note. So now I'm going to tell you which characters have the most aura in Bleach. At number 5, Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo will be higher on the list, but his most dripped out forms was temporary. Dangai Ichigo had that grown man aura, and his sword was literally fused to his hand. And when he snatched Aizen by the face, that was crazy. And my favorite is Vasto Lord Ichigo. That form was dripping aura. He didn't even say nothing. He just handled business. This form alone is enough to put Ichigo at number 1. But I had to put him at number 5 because it's temporary. At number 4, Kenpachi Zaraki. Kenpachi had so much aura. He was the only head captain who didn't have a Bankai. He was such a gangster, he didn't even need one. I remember during Waco Mundo arc when he cut the Espada in half. his power up was using both his hands. He was like, oh yeah, I can do that. Because Kenpachi likes to handicap himself during the phase so he can enjoy it. And in the beginning of the show, we thought he was blind because he was wearing an eye patch. But Kenpachi ain't blind. He was just orc farming.
What nonsense. Weaklings, die!
At number 3, the Espada, Ukiyoda Cypher. Ukiyoda had so much aura he refused to take his hands out of his pockets to fade Ichigo. And honestly, I think his Espada number should have been higher because in my opinion, he was strong enough to be number 1. And Aizen didn't even know about his second form because Ukiyoda was quiet and cold as hell.
Very well. I will make you realize the depth of my power.
At number 2, Byakuya Kushiki. Byakuya got so much aura, sometimes I'll just say Zenbo Zakura Kageyoshi out of nowhere, just because. Byakuya had pride, nobility, and look at this Bankai. Byakuya got so much aura he can't even be bothered to hold his Bankai. He just waved his hands around and murder you.
Bankai. Senbon Zakura Kageyoshi.
And at number 1, Aizen. I don't know how you have this much aura sitting in a chair. And I remember when Aizen took off them glasses like a sexy evil Superman, and then bro stopped Ichigo's Bankai with one finger. Aizen got so much aura, he was the reason Ichigo was born, and he ain't getting his daddy. Aizen got so much aura, we never got his Bankai because his Bankai would have broke the whole manga. Don't agree with me? Who do you think got the most aura in Bleach? Which Bankai was your favorite? I'm gonna get up out of here and I'll catch you in the next one.
Bankai. Aten Kyokotsu. Karamatsu Shinju.
So you find
Bankai Sakashima Yokoshima Happo Kusagari.
Bankai! Behold, Konjiki Ashisogi Jizo! Bankai! Hihio! Zabimaru!
Bankai. Senbon Zakura Kageyoshi.
Bankai. Suzumushi, Tsuishiki, and Mount.
Bankai. Kokujo Tengen Myo.
Bankai. Eiguren Hyorinmaru.
Bankai! Shakuhorai Koben!
Bankai. Kamishi Ninoyari.
Bankai.
Bankai!